This video is going to look at key concepts of ecology and biogeography. Both are sectors of the geographical world and have really strong ties to each other. However, both have been studied as separate disciplines for many, many years. Ecology tends to favour local scale processes and patterns that operate over a shorter period of time, whereas biogeography has typically focused on processes and patterns over a long period of time and a larger spatial scale. So biogeography is a branch of geography that explores the past and present distribution of plants and species across the planet. It is usually considered as a physical geography, as it examines the semantic environment and how this affects species and their distribution. The study of biogeography gained popularity in the mid-19th century by a man called Alfred Russel Wallace. Wallace was many things, but above all, he was an adventurer and an explorer. Actually, biogeography began in the 18th century. At this time, Western civilization had a verbatim acceptance of what was written in the Bible. They believed that all creatures and plants were created by God and created perfect in His image. This made it very, very difficult for geographers to put across the theory of evolution. And this is when Charles Darwin came into play with his travelling to the Galapagos Islands and his discovery of all the animals and plants there. This next clip is going to be told to you by a scientist, and he's going to explain biogeography to you.
That are very similar to each other, like, say, marsupials, their distribution around the world, or their biogeography, is also explained extraordinarily well by the theory of evolution. Animals that are the most similar and are the most closely related tend to be found in the same regions, because evolutionary change is driven in part by geographical change. As we talked about in our speciation episode, when organisms become isolated by physical barriers like oceans or mountains, they take their own evolutionary courses. But in the timescale that we're talking about, the geographical barriers are much older and are often even the result of continental drift. So marsupials, you know about marsupials, they can be found in many places, but they aren't evenly distributed around the world. By far the highest concentration of them is in Australia. Even the majority of mammal fossils in Australia are marsupials. So why is Australia rife with kangaroos, koalas, and wombats, while North America just has possums? Fossils show us that one of marsupials' earliest ancestors found its way to Australia before continental drift turned it into an island 30 million years ago. More importantly, after Australia broke away, placental mammals, like us, evolved on the mainland mass and quickly outcompeted most of the marsupials left behind in what would become North America and South America. So very few marsupials remain in the Americas, while Australia has been drifting around like some kind of marsupial loveboat. Darwin's finches are another example of biogeographical evidence. As he wrote in The Origin of Species, Darwin observed that different species of finches on separate Galapagos Islands were not only similar to each other, but were also similar to species found on the South American mainland.
The word ecology was first used by Ernest Haeckel in 1869. Ecology is best described as a relationship between organisms and their environment. The word ecology is derived from the Greek word oikos, which translates to home. So most people translate or can literally mean that ecology can mean home life. Ecology is believed to be survival of the fittest. In any environment, certain individuals will reproduce and survive. By doing this, they will leave more descendants. If this transpired, the characteristics of a population will change from generation to generation. This is better known as evolution through natural selection. Each placement of a species is accidental, but we can demonstrate this through the comparable evidence of islands versus mainlands. The flora and fauna on any island is limited to the previous ancestors which were there that managed to survive there. Because of the isolation on any island, the rate of evolutionary change is faster than that on the mainland. The term adapt or die does come into play here. The purpose of an ecologist is to predict what will happen to an organism, a population, and a community in certain environments and circumstances. By making these predictions, they can try and minimise and take appropriate action to stop these habitats from disappearing. Ecology is an interdisciplinary field that includes earth science and biology. Ecology covers a vast amount of scientific areas spanning from micro levels, so cells, to whole ecosystems. ecologists strive to explain life processes, adaptations, and interactions between species and plants and their locations. So, in conclusion, biogeography is a process that allows scientists to look back at the planet's history. Biogeography sheds light on the natural habitats across the planet. It is an essential science which solves the understanding of why species and plants are in their present location and can help prevent the extinction of future habitats. Ecology is key in the sustainability of the planet, looking at shorter timescales and biogeography, but covering a vast catalogue under its umbrella.